Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Avadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Hari Om. இந்த கதவை சாத்திருங்க. மா வித்விஷாவஹை. ஓம் சாந்தி சாந்தி சாந்தி. ஹரி ஓம். ஸ்ரீ குருப்யோ நமः. ஹரி ஓம். बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम सदा शिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपरां. समस्त जन कल्याणीं निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं. ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. हरि ओम. So in the last weeks of vision of Vedanta, we saw how many types of karma are there. There are 3 types of karma because the Phalashruti of Vedanta, what do I get if I know who I am? If I know my true self, if I know who I am, then the result is I will be free from actions. I will be free from karma. I don't need to do actions compulsorily is the result. And if I want to know that state of how it is to not do actions, then I should know what is action. What are the 3 types of actions? So the first line of the last 2 chapters says, karmani katividhani santi iti chet. If you ask me, O student, how many types of karmas are there? Ask Adi Sankaracharya ji in Tatwabodha. Agami, Sanchita, Prarabdha Bhedena. There are 3 types of differences. One is Prarabdha, one is Agami, and the other is Sanchita. Trividhani Santi. There are 3 types of karma. Jnanotpatti anantaram jnani deha kritam punya papa rupam karma yad asti tad agami iti abhidhiyate. What is agami karma? After knowing who I am, after the knowledge of self, if I know I am that supreme truth, I am that Brahman, jnani deha kritam. For the person who has the jnana is called a jnani. Person who has got that knowledge is called a jnani. What knowledge? Knowledge of the true reality. After that knowledge, whatever the jnani might do, it can be punya karma or it can be papa karma. It can be punya because people may be happy with what is happening. No karma is completely pure because we can only make one section of people happy and automatically the other section of people will be unhappy because of the actions. Punya papa rupam karma yad asti. Whatever action the jnani does after getting this knowledge, after receiving this knowledge, even by listening, one person listens to this knowledge, he has known the knowledge. When he starts abiding in that knowledge, he really becomes a jnani. After he starts abiding in that knowledge, then he does actions because the body is there, the mind is there, the intellect is there, the experiences are there, and he cannot negate all that physically, really. Even though he may negate in his mind, materially he does have to experience until the point of the death of the body. So this is called agami karma, the actions that he does after he gains knowledge. What is sanchitam karma? Ananta koti janmanam bija bhutam sat yad karma jatam purvarjitam tishtati tat sanchitam jneyam. Sanchitam is the collective karma of all human beings, of lifetimes, it is like a warehouse. We can go to that warehouse anytime we want to take birth. We go to that warehouse and we choose what karma we want to take. We choose whether we want to do the karma of a journalist, the karma of a lawyer, the karma of a doctor, the karma of an engineer. All this is there in the Sanchita, which means it is there in the Akashic records. It is there in the collective files of all the planets which are the storehouse of karmas. The planetary objects are all the storehouses of our karma, which we have done. When we say we, there is no individual I. There is collective I in which life is present everywhere, and all the actions done by all the creatures, all the animals, all the humans, and all the different manifestations of earth, everything is stored in seed form in that sanchita, in that bag, in that file, in that cosmic container. We can, that is called sanchita karma, whatever we have done in the past. And what is prarabdham karma? Prarabdham karma is that which is happening right now in our life. From the time of birth till the time of death, on a day-to-day basis, whatever we experience is our prarabdha. So agami is the future karma, sanchita is the past storehouse, warehouse, prarabdham is the present continuous tense. Whatever actions we are forced to do in the present moment. So, for example, I will just give you an example. At the start of the session, this door has to be closed, but somebody went in and opened the door to take something and forgot to close it. So even though in between my YouTube talk, it is not a very pleasant thing to do, to cut the talk and talk something else, I had to tell the person to close the door. So this is my prarabdha. When we face our prarabdha, how do we face it? We face it without anger, we face it without hatred, we face it without any kind of we have to do something, we are forced to do something, so we just do that work. So that is called prarabdha. So how does this prarabdha karma get dissolved? In this manner, like how I demonstrated right now. Prarabdham karma kim iti chet idam shariram utpadya iha loke eva sukha dukkhadi pradam yat karma tat prarabdham bhogena nashtam bhavati prarabdha karmanam bhogadeva kshaya iti idam shariram utpadya. The prarabdha karma is what is the cause for giving birth to this body, because our individual is the thing that gives us this individual costume that we are wearing. Our costume that we wear, I mean the physical body that we have, the gender we have, our lifespan, our different experiences, everything is different from person to person. So this prarabdha karma is what has given this costume. Idam shariram utpadya. Then, ihaloke eva. In this world, in this experience of this earth, in this lifetime, sukha, dukkha, adi, pradam. That karma which gives me the experience of sukha, and that karma or impression which gives the experience of dukkha, yat karma tat prarabdham. That is called prarabdha karma. Bhogena nashtam bhavati. Prarabdha karma gets destroyed with experiencing that. There is no way I cannot experience it. There is no way I can escape that experience. I have to go to that experience, through that experience, and then that karma gets dissolved. Which means, whatever we experience, We just have to understand, yes, this is coming to me. I am experiencing it. I am grateful for this experience. I allow the experience to be and go when it wants to go. These four sentences, whenever we go through any difficult situation, these four sentences, yes, this experience is happening because of the impression that I have in my mind, which has been created by my past actions. I accept this experience completely. I am grateful for this experience for coming to me. Let this experience be for however long it has to be. With these four sentences, we can just burn our prarabdha karma moment to moment. At one point of time, we will be walking freely through life. Of course, we don't question the joyful experiences. We don't question the neutral experiences which have neither joy nor sorrow. We question the experiences that give us sorrow, particularly when we go through experiences which give us sorrow at any time in our life. If we remember these four sentences, yes, this experience is coming because of the impressions that are created in my mind due to my past actions. I welcome this experience and I am grateful for this experience. Let this experience be for as much long it wants to be with me, and let it go when it wants to go. When we identify the experience, when we name the experience, when we accept the experience, and we are grateful for the experience will no longer trouble us. It is gone. Prarabdham bhogad eva kshaya. So, in the next few verses, the Acharya is going to explain to us how Sanchita karma and Agami karma will get dissolved. But now he explains how Prarabdha gets dissolved. How does Prarabdha karma? Prakarshena Arabdha, well begun, which means well begun is half done. Prarabdha karma bhogadeva kshaya iti. Sanchitam karma brahmaivaham asmi iti nischayatmaka jnanena nashyati. Sanchitam karma. Sanchitam karma is the karma that has been collected during our lifetime. Our lifetime means there is no one personality called I. So the lifetime refers to the personalities, the living experiences of all the human beings in this earth who ever lived and died. So that is Sanchitam Karma. All the actions they did, all the good they did, all the bad they did, all the auspicious karmas they did, all the inauspicious karmas they did. Everything is there in the library, in the Akashic library, in the storehouse. That is our Sanchita Karma. That is our inheritance of actions, impressions of the past. Sanchitam Karma of the future, which is waiting to unfold. The choice is ours, whether we want to take it up or whether we want to drop it. Sanchitam Karma, we don't have to process Sanchitam Karma or the karmas of the future, or that means we don't need to take bodies in the future. If I have that firm understanding that Brahman is me, that Brahman is I, Aham Brahma Asmi. If I have that firm understanding, then Sanchita Karma does not exist for me. Nishchayatmaka Jnanena, no future karma exists. I can be free of actions. I can continue to live life in this world or in other worlds. I have no compulsive action to do because all the impressions are gone from my subtle body. All the impressions of actions are lost. The moment I meditate, I absorb and I meditate, the truth, the reality that I am that Brahman. So if I don't want to do any actions, if I want to be free of actions, if I want to live a relaxed lifestyle, then I should spend more and more time on meditating the reality of the truth of who I am, that is Brahman. Sanchitam karma is all the past karma. Sorry, I said future. Sanchi is what we carry in a bag, on a shoulder. The karma that weighs us down. The moment we contemplate on our actions, whatever we have done in the past, the moment we contemplate that I am that Brahman, everything gets destroyed. Agami karma api jnanena nashyati kimcha agami karmanam nalini dala gata jalavat jnaninam sambandho nasti. Agami karma api, even the future karmas, that which is yet to come, that which is gone is sanchita karma. Please make the correction which I made earlier. Sanchita karma refers to our past actions, not the future actions to come. As I wrongly mentioned a while ago, agami karma api jnanena nashyati. Even the future actions, even the actions that may become impressions in the future. Sanchita karma are the indelible impressions of the past. The indelible impressions of actions of the past will get destroyed the more and more I practice meditation, more and more I realize the truth of who I am, more and more I live in knowledge. Agami karma, the karma that is going to happen in the future, also gets destroyed by jnana, by knowledge, kimcha. But, however, agami karmanam, even if it happens, for example, for a jnani, even if they have to face a very, very, very difficult situation, that action, the impact of that action sits on them like a water on a lotus leaf. Water on a lotus leaf, with a slight wind, the water just drops and it does not really stick with the lotus leaf. Nalini dala gata jalavat jnaninam sambandha nasti. Those impressions of actions which are going to bear effect in the future will be sitting on them like water on the lotus leaf, like droplets of water on the lotus leaf. If something big happens, the droplets will fall away. They're not going to impact the person. Even if they are resting on the person, they are very light. So the actions, the results happen, the results don't really. For example, if suppose in that jnani's impressions, karmic impressions, there is an impression that he should be scolded. How does that impression go away just like that, like water on a lotus leaf? He will be part of a big group that gets the scolding. So individually, there will be no scolding for him, but collectively, he will receive it and it really doesn't touch him. And moreover, who is that big group that is going to receive the scolding along with the jnani is mentioned here. Kimcha. So this is where we all people who receive this knowledge, who are not yet established in that knowledge, have to be very, very careful in the way we interact with jnanis, in the way we surrender to their knowledge, in the way we serve them, in the way we love them. What happens to those people who hate jnanis, who do actions that are contrary to their liking? What happens to them? Kimcha, every great master, like Tirumandiram or any other book, has always mentioned that if we don't treat jnanis well in our country, what will happen to that country? So, Kimcha ye jnaninam stubanti bhajanti archayanti tan prati jnani kritam agami punyam gacchati. So, just like we have The impressions are our wealth. The impressions that we have, which have not yet borne fruit as prarabdha, is going to come bear fruit as agami. Suppose I have an impression of, the karmic impression of getting a beautiful house. There is a jnani who has a karmic impression of getting a beautiful house 1 year later. Okay? So that is the impression that he carries with him. So he will get that. But he is a jnani. He is not really wanting it. He is not really desiring it now. He would have had that desire in his past lifetimes, and you have done also a lot of punya karma for that desire to materialize. So the desire is going to materialize in 1 year. This jnani is going to get a big bungalow or a big house in 1 year's time. But what happens to that karma of the jnani? Ye jnaninam stuvanti, bhajanti, archayanti, tan prati, jnani kritam, agami punyam. This punya of a big bungalow will go to that person who has really praised that jnani, who has served that jnani, who is worshipping that jnani, and giving him joy in some means or the other, as the jnani desires. To that person, this jnani's good prarabdha karma, good agami karma will go away. But then, this jnani might have also done many actions in the past which are not so good and which are waiting to give not so good results in the same 1 year's time. Let us say, maybe in one lifetime, he might have done a murder, or he might have done something very bad. So what happens to that karma? That is also there. It is also going to bear fruit in the next year in the form of a jail, in the form of a jail vasam, going to jail, or in the form of, in the form of receiving, um, receiving a lot of not so nice things to hear, ill praise, what is it called? Ill fame. It might be waiting to come. So to whom does this karma go? Even if it comes also, the jnani will take it because he knows it is from the past. But suppose, and he will not really accept it because he does not accept either the good or the bad. Because the jnani has realized he is a Brahman. Once a person realizes he is the Brahman, that person's subtle body becomes like a Shivalinga. On the Shivalinga, anything you put, whether it is Panchamritam or water or Vibhuti, either it stays or it just drops. It doesn't get absorbed inside. Ye jnaninam. So when this not so good karma is coming back to the jnani, where does this go? Ye jnaninam nindanti. One who is scolding the jnani. There are so many people who do that in our day-to-day life also. Because of the social media, we don't know who is a jnani and who is not a jnani. And the people who write about all that also, they are not very wise people, they are not knowledgeable people, and the medium through which it is published also, it is mostly an agenda-driven medium. So we don't take in the truth of what they publish about a person, or they broadcast or telecast about a person, and then come to the criticism, come to the conclusion that this person is bad, he has done this, he has done that, and all the accusations. Remember, all the programs that are coming are in tune with the TRP ratings and the ratings of the channel or the sales of the newspaper or the magazine. It augments the sale. So when we listen to such news on the newspaper, we don't know really who is a jnani or not. And we participate in the common discussion about, you know what, this person has done that crime, this person has done that murder, and we join with everybody else in the gossip. We will face the flag that jnani's unwanted prarabdha, unwanted karma, impressions will come straight to the person who is talking like this. Nindanti. We should not only scolding, even hating the jnani. We do that so often we do. But if we don't like a person, we instead of just leaving that person, we are hateful of that person. We indulge in hate speech. Not only hate speech, we indulge in hate writing, hate publication of books. So many things we do. Dvishanti, dukkha pradhanam kurvanti. By our actions, we make the jnani cry. We make the jnani feel very sad for what is happening to him. We drive in our anger and hatred towards him, and really torture him, and make him cry, or make him feel very sad, or make him feel very bad. Even if he's thinking, oh my God, I'm really feeling distressed by all this, that feeling itself will be incurring more sin for the people who are giving that feeling. Not only the jnanis, prarabdha karma, all the agami karma of the jnani, which is not so good, will go to that people. It's very simple. If you do somebody good, the good agami will go to them. If you do something bad, the bad agami will go to them. Jnani kritam sarvam agami kriyamanam yadavachyam karma papatmakam tad gacchati. All the agami karma, sarva agami. If you do little bad, all the agami karma of the jnani will go to that person. It's very simple. So, if you really want very bad things to happen in your life, you can go and scold a jnani, or you can torture them, or you can gossip about them, or you can give them ill fame. You can do all that if you really want all their bad karma to come to you. Tat gacchati. So, meaning the opposite is true. If you want only the good karma, that is why people go and worship Mahatmas. They do pada puja, they serve them, they talk nicely to them, they give them what they really want, they offer them whatever they can, and they look at them with respect. They hold them in respect, and they talk with them with respect, because more and more they do that, more and more of all the good karma that Mahatma has in store for him will come to that devotee or disciple. Tad gacchati. Suhrid punyakritam durhritaha papakrutyam grinhanti iti. So how does that jnani's karmic account gets dissolved? To those people who do good to him, good to that jnani, this is not he is desiring. Automatically it goes. It is like the bank account only. The bank is not disbursing funds, looking at people and desiring. Whoever is entitled for whatever, they get that money. In the same way, whoever is entitled for punya karma, that punya karma goes to them. Whoever, jnani is like a bank of karmic impressions. It has punya karmic impressions also, papa karmic impressions also. The punya karmic impressions will go to the people who serve him and praise him and worship him. The papa karmic impressions will go to those people who hate him, who do things that are contrary to his liking. Tatha cha atmavit samsaram tirtva brahmanandam ihaiva prapnoti tarati shokam atmavit iti shrutehe tanum tyajatu va kashyam shvapachasya grihe athava jnana samprapti samaye muktosau vigatashayah iti smrtescha. The last but one line. Tatha cha atmavit. In this manner, the one who realizes the self, atmavit, samsaram tirtva. He crosses samsara, brahmanandam, ikaiva prapnoti. In this world itself, he experiences brahmananda. Tarati shokam atmavit iti shrutehe. The atmavit, the one who knows the self, transcends sorrow, crosses sorrow, says the Shrutis. Shrutis means the Vedas, the books of knowledge say that if you want to transcend sorrow, know the self. If you know the self and you abide in the self, you do not have any karmas. The Sanchita karma is gone, the Agami karma is gone, the Prarabdha karma also goes away by experiencing it on a day-to-day basis. Prarabdha karma means actually food, hunger. Hunger and thirst is the prarabdha karma. Clothing, shelter, and food. These are the prarabdha karmas for the jnani. The jnani does not have any other prarabdha karma of good, bad and all that. He just has to take care of his food, clothing and shelter. So these are the three things that he has to live with till the end of his life. He has to take care of them and experience them as it comes on a day-to-day basis. Brahmanandam ihaiva prapnoti tarati shokam atmavit iti shrutehe tanum tyajatu va kashyam श्वपचस्य गृहे अथवा ज्ञान संप्राप्ति समये मुक्तः असौ विगत आशयः इति स्मृतेश्च. When he gains knowledge, all his karmic impressions, he is freed from all the karmic impressions. The karmic impressions don't suffocate him, don't bind him. He need not be born because of those karmic impressions, because he has got nothing to do with them, and because he's got that knowledge of the self. And so what happens? Tarati atmavitri samsaram titva brahmanandam ihaiva prapnoti. He experiences the bliss of Brahma Ananda, the joy of Brahma Ananda. Tarati shokam atmavit iti shrutehe. The one who knows the self crosses all sorrow. Tanum tyajatuva kashyam. He may leave his body in Kashi. In Kashi means in that city where definitely people go for moksha. Lord Shiva will chant the name of Ram, Ram, Ram in the ear of the person dying in Kashi, and he gets mukti. Even if he dies in Kashi, or even if he dies in the house of a dog eater. Why dog eater means? A papi. Dog is a very friendly towards human beings. So something that is so friendly towards a human being, if one person is able to eat that, then he must be so cruel. Even if he dies in the house of such a person, jnana samprapti samaye muktaha asau, he becomes free, and vigata ashayaha, he does not have any karmic impressions in him, and so he is a free person. Iti Tatwabodha Prakaranam Samaptam. In this way, this Tatwabodha Prakaranam means Prakarshena Karanam, going round and round the thought of Tattva. Tattva means essence. That I am is Tattva. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that is Tattva. Tatwabodha Prakaranam Samaptaha. It is Samaptam. It is complete. So, with the grace of Bhagavan Adi Sankaracharya, we have been able to complete this text called Tatwabodha, in beginning with our Mission of Vedanta series. In the next week, Sunday, we are going to see a very beautiful musical text of Sri Adi Sankaracharya called Prashnottari Ratna Malika. There are 60 verses, very beautiful verses. We will see them week after week. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हर नमः पार्वती पतये. हर हर महादेव. हरि.